Now, why most amateur golfers can't stop standing up, early extending in the downswing, is because they are moving this completely wrong, their hips. So as soon as we understand how to move the hips in the backswing and downswing, it becomes so much easier to be able to stay down in posture without even trying. So like we said, this is hip movement. So in these series of videos, I talk a lot about club positions, the root causes to why you stand up. If you haven't watched a lot of those, go ahead and watch those videos. But absolutely today, body movement with the hips. So what we see a lot of golfers do as our first point is how they're moving in their backswing. So as soon as they start to move up to the top of the swing, you'll start to see their right hip start to move forward. So if we had a line right on the back of my pelvis there, as we're moving up, my hips would start to move forward of that line. And golfers will have no idea they're doing this. Only when you analyze your swing, draw a line on your pelvis, you'll start to see this happen. So when you've moved that right hip forward, losing hip depth is what we call this. As soon as you start to turn down, you're not going to now just move back because you've got to move more back than where you are in that change of direction. So we just see golfers continually move forward. The weight's going to go onto the toes. The upper body will start to move more back to be able to balance yourself and give you room through the shot. And you will pop up and come out of posture every single time. You can also suffer with things like shanks doing this, wide open club faces, hugely off towards the right. Very rarely do you actually hit it online like I hit that one. So, okay. What those golfers need to do, they need to learn how to actually load into their hip properly. So that's where when we see the best players in the world, what they'll be doing, they will be absolutely with that line there by their pelvis, they will be moving and their right hip won't go off that. If anything, it might even for some move slightly back. So moving deeper into that right hip. So we're loading up into that right hip because if you are staying more back, you are going to prime yourself in the downswing to stay more back. So we're not just pushing the hip back, we're rotating it to where it goes back. And now it's going to be so much easier for me to stay through that shot. I'm going to show you a drill at the end of the video that encapsulates both of these issues. So keeping that hip back, I don't know what I was saying, ball outside the hitting area, it certainly isn't. I think it'll pick it up. And there we go, so much easier to stay down through that shot, hit those lovely tight draws, just like that. So we've got to load into that hip. I'll tell you exactly how to do that after the second point. So as we can see, the winter off-season period is officially here, which means the winter improvement plan on Skillist is back. So what that is unlimited online coaching with myself, and it is only for the price of 2 individual online lessons. So unlimited for the price of 2 lessons, amazing. So this is for golfers who are serious about making this 2026 season the best season they've ever had. So for putting in this great technical work on getting their swing where it needs to be to have that great year. So again, for serious golfers who really want to make that improvement, 3-month minimum, great deal, working one-to-one with myself. Been running this for a good 4 years, every off season, and it has unbelievable success every single off season. So if you've got any questions about this, you can fire them over to me on Skillist, or if you just want to go straight for it, again, there is a link in the description for Skillist. And if you want to understand what online lessons are about, you can also just do a free analysis to start off with, and then we can see what we need to do with your swing and what we will be doing in our plan for our winter improvement plan this off season. So again, link is in the description. Let's get to work. So the second point here for how golfers are moving their hips, causing them to stand up, is as they're moving down the downswing, their concept is completely wrong with what drives the hip rotation. What these golfers are doing, they're starting their downswing, their right hip is firing forward. So I hear it so often, golfers say, I'm trying to get the hips through, and how I'm doing that is really firing my right side through the ball. Now, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it? I'm a right-handed golfer. Surely I'm going to use the right side of my body. The stronger, again, my brain has, of course, more control over that side. But in golf, golf's hard. So what we've got to do with golf, we've got to use our non-dominant side to lead our rotation. Because if my right side there pushes forward, my right side will get closer to the ball, along with the club will do that as well. Or it could even get stuck, as you could see, easy to get my right arm stuck. Either of those scenarios will cause you to continue to extend, pushing the pelvis more forward, upper body extending. So that's where we need to do the opposite of extension. We need to do flexion. So if we're going to flex in the downswing, we want to keep this right side back, nice and loaded. And now with that left hip, we need to keep that left hip back. So pushing that left hip back and back and back and back and back. Belt buckle goes over the left heel as we do that. That's going to blend in the shift and blend in moving the left hip back. But that's going to give us rotation. So I'm technically not even trying to turn, I'm just getting this left hip to move more back. A lot of players, some use the ground more, like to think of it that way. It's the same deal as pushing out of your toes out of the ground, and then that propels that left hip back. I just prefer to do it more by thinking of what my body is doing. So getting that left hip to sink more and more and more and more and more back. Now that's moved us into flexion, not extension. Left hip going more back, collects the arms in front, flexes the upper body more down, as when you push the hip back, see how the upper body reacts, complete opposite to standing up, and then we just continue to move through the ball. So I'm going to show you a drill to train this properly after this shot here. So right hip loading, left hip moving back. So if we want to drill that's going to target the totality of what the hips do, it is this. So that's where what we do, we grab our stick and we put our stick through our belt loops. Okay, so equal sides, amount on either side there. So okay, now what we want to do, we want to load into this hip. So that's where we get this right side of the stick gradually, not straight away, but gradually moving back. Whilst you do that, I want you to really think, okay, I'm getting that weight as I'm doing this, loading into the ball of my right foot or slightly back behind that. So really into that inside of that right foot. Really feel the pressure there. I like players for my online coaching on Skillist, when we teach them how to do this, is to close your eyes as you do it. Feel like this stick is going back. Close your eyes, feeling like that weight is getting into that ball of that foot, maybe even slightly towards the heel of the inside. It's not a bad thing. And that's going to really get you that different, of course, unlock a completely different feeling because you're taking away a sense of vision. So you're going to then heighten your other senses. So that's a great way to do it. Okay, thinking this stick gradually going back, weight staying on the inside of my right foot. Boom. You'll really start to feel some loading and some pressure in that right hip capsule. So we're in that upper groin area. So that's our goal. Okay, we've locked and loaded now. Now what we want to do, the stick on the left side, we want to get it disappearing down and around. So we don't want to bump it so it goes up. We're going to hit this stick if we do that. We want it to go down and around. Again, that's going to move us into flexion. As we start moving down, that's going to collect the arms in front. You're not going to hit this unless you fire the hips forward. And that's going to be a great way to do this. So loading up and then stick going back and around. It's going to get us the great movement of the hips. Let's hit a few here. Straight away, lovely, lovely shot. So definitely for the better player, I mean, this is very much a better player issue, but I see a lot of high handicappers do this as well. But this is a great one if you get that club a little bit too stuck on the inside to neutralize it out. So again, keeping that club a little bit more in front, which is what we see vast majority of all the best players do. They like to keep the club a lot more in front of them than behind them. Not too excessively, of course. But this is a great drill to teach it. Again, just lovely push draw down there. Let's do one more for good measure. Just trying to get this right stick going back, left stick going back and around. So okay, imagine it's like you're loading up the throw ball. Same thing, getting all that range of motion correctly in there. Okay, one more. There we go, lovely. So, got to load up that right side, load into that left side. So that is where, if you can get the hips right and then you can clear up your other variables, like I said, there's so many videos I've got on this topic. I've got a whole course on this, is the Early Extension Masterclass. So there's loads of bits of info to absorb there. But this is a huge key. If you're not moving the hips properly, you're not going to stay down in posture. So do a bunch of this drill and you're going to stay down in posture so much better. It is why most amateur golfers stand up, because they don't move either side of their hips properly. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction, just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.